What's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? This y'all boy, Battle Rap Chuck 92. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Okay, so I'm hearing about I heard everything was going on with the John John situation. John John, explained, about, he don't owe battlers money but at the same time he not really saying it like that because it kind of somewhat feel like he most likely owes somebody something, right? And what's funny about this whole situation is I remember I was taking a nap a couple of days ago, you know. And sometimes if you listen to a podcast or whatever, you could just you could end up, going to sleep, dozing off, listening to the podcast. But after that YouTube video goes off, you got that auto thing going, like where it goes on to the next. And then I seen Danny talking about John John owing him money. And I'm like, this is like random. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is this coming from? You know what I'm saying? He was like on another blogger channel. And I'm like, okay, where is this coming from? Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's where I got it going after the fact. After Danny was talking about John John owing him money and things like that, John John started speaking on certain things. Now, this situation had gotten exposed. It just brought back up, but not knowing that Danny, you know what I'm saying, was one of them, as far as like who he owed money to, right? But this is this is like what be killing me. Cassidy, like, most likely, you know what I'm saying, bring like money into y'all. You know what I'm saying, to everybody that wants to battle Cassidy. But the day that Cassidy ever stopped making y'all money, I could really live, you know what I'm saying, without Cassidy ever battling again. I'd be just so tired of, every time when people's talking about like battlers, they bring up Cassidy. They bring up, I might go against Mook, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might go against Hitman. I might go against, such and such. And then, the person the person that's doing it, that's doing it in the interview, asking him the question is like, so what about Cassidy? Would you battle Cassidy? Nah, man. Like, that's what be killing me. I wasn't excited about John John going against Cassidy anyway. But of course, that's not too much of the problem. The problem is somebody is most likely doing they're not really it's basically bad business. Somebody doing bad business. That's what it is. And when you look at the situation with Danny and John John, this is the thing, man. I like Danny. I like John John. I like both of these guys as battlers. I probably like Danny better. Danny better. I think he's a better battler. That's just my personal, favorite, like one of my favorite battle rappers. But this is what I'll say about John John and Danny. I think both, both battlers were wrong. John John looking at it like, okay, you get on you get on a live and then you basically telling the world, I owe you money. Come on, Danny, you could have called me, dog. But that's how I had that person thinking. So now, since I know you did that, now I'm about to bring up certain things that happened up in your past. Calling Danny Mr. 12K, or, Rex ran off with his 12K. And then after that, telling Danny to eat a D. John John took it a step further and even made it even more disrespectful. I'm not gonna call this a war, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying it ain't no fair games in war. Whatever you decide to do to a person and you know that they not gonna like it, you are entitled to your opinion as far as how you feel about it. But just know they're going to approach it however they want to approach it. Do I feel like John John should have said that to Danny? No. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure John John didn't like the fact that Danny just went to the YouTube and, was saying that, John John owed him money. But at the same time, it does go all the way back on John John. Because at the end of the day, John John owes Danny $1,000 or whatever the case might be. It seemed like it's true, but if it's not true, John John have every right to say that it's not. And it seemed like he been saying that, but not saying it. So it started off like that. So if you get an event together, no matter if I'm dang near about to have like the, the carpet man, come and clean my house. If I'm about to have a carpet man, come and clean my carpet or whatever. If he, like once he get here or whatever, I'm telling him I'm going to give him the money as soon as he get there. So as soon as he get here, if I tell him I'm going to give him let's just say I'm about to give him about like $350, but then I end up giving him $250. That's not right, because on his way here, I told him that I was going to give him $350. Or how about, let's just say 2 days ago, I said that I was going to give him $350, but then when he get there, I'm only giving him $250, and I told him I wasn't going to be able to give him the $350. So let's just say he goes, he just takes the what's the name. Let's just say he just now told somebody else, like one of my neighbors, like, yeah, he was supposed to give me $350, but he ended up giving me $250. Like, yeah, yeah, I wasn't feeling that, blah, 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 blah. Now, I can't get too mad at him because I did say I was going to give him $350. So at the end of the day, John John is wrong about this situation. He is. Because at the same time, when you owe somebody some money, they feel like they have the right, which is damn near true. They're going to feel like they have the right to just say anything they want. Anything they want. But that's just me looking at how, like when I look at people like talking about what they don't like about like another person on social media and things like that. That's just me, where I just don't like when people go to social media to talk about another person. I'm old school. I just feel like people should just give somebody a phone call. I don't agree to none of that. I don't even agree to the way Danny responded. But then when John John say, either you know what, out of all people, you tell Danny that, and me like looking at Danny through the battle rap culture, Danny don't never really come off like high-headed. He ain't no person that cause chaos. Seem like laid back, chill, just want to battle and go home. So at the end of the day, so that's all I really have to say about the situation. At the end of the day, though, John John, I mean, you did say, from what Danny is saying, you did say that you don't owe him. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't say you didn't owe him, but you did tell, like, it seemed like you told Danny that you wasn't going to be able to give him the $1,000. That's what it seemed like. You know what I mean? So hopefully, Danny and John John end up piecing it up or whatever. But I just be real with you. To me, it just seemed like neither person was seen to be intimidated by one another. It seemed like if something will happen, it most likely will, because I don't see neither person backing down from the situation. But at the end of the day, though, John John, I mean, telling another man, either you know what, I mean, yeah, that type of stuff ain't cool, bro. And when it comes to these battlers, man, hey, at the end of the day, you gotta pay them. If I do anything and I say that I was gonna pay somebody something and I kept my word for it, it is what it is. It's funny because I was actually talking to somebody, about, putting like some system, some ready, some speakers you know what I'm saying, up in my car or whatever, they had this amp, you know, that it's kind of hard to find today, but this person had it. And the same day when I was actually at this radio shop, oh boy, you know what I'm saying, he all the way up in the valley. Came down, but before he came down, I told him how much I was going to give to him. Just imagine if he would have came all the way down. And what I said as far as what I was going to give him, I gave him less. He will have every right to feel away. He came all the way down from the valley, bro. That's how we got to look at it. But this y'all boy Battle Rap Talk 92. Subscribe to my channel. Go.